All right. The 18th of July, 1936, or 2036, 2026, take your pick. Um, I have turned off the music because brought the music volume down to 0, just because apparently YouTube will put a copyright claim on just about any music. Like, surely, music that's just part of the game wouldn't get a copyright claim on it, but yeah, we'll just avoid the issue. Anywho, so I have. Do you think I want to kind of keep that maybe to the right? Okay, we got our mini map back. I fiddled around with the video settings a bit, and I'm not entirely sure what I did, but kept fiddling with it and closing the game and reopening it, and eventually, the UI started looking a little less scrunched up there. So, something apparently fixed it. But okay, it is day 2 of the war. That force looks rather weak. Oh, but I do have forces here, which I think I want to order. Actually, what a that 12,770 men there. That's a lot. Okay. Okay, I have. It looks like. Wait a minute. Hang on, what do I have there? 1,948 men, 10 vehicles, and 2 guns. Or. Within 200 nautical miles, so. 614 guns, maybe? Okay, gonna change that to deliberate attack. Still want them to move there. I want all of these guys to, again, deliberate attack. I guess the forces that are in the hex with them. So again, still kind of figuring out the engine. When I get to the section on land combat units and how more detail on how land combat works, maybe that'll clarify it. But for now, we'll see if. Oh, okay. And this is use artillery for direct fire. I guess not as a rule, but if the opportunity comes up, sure, do that. Oh, okay, they are. They don't have a whole lot of artillery to begin with. Or maybe they do have a whole lot of artillery to begin with. And do I want to move these guys at all? Yeah, they're static. 139 men. And what do we got in here? We got Okay. Oh, 5 AFVs. What actually... I guess they're not our AFVs in there. Oh, I guess, yeah, merge unit if we can. Is, something that one of the tutorials, of course, recommended is merge units when you have a chance to do that. Oh, except that merged them into a static formation, which maybe I didn't want to do. Oh, okay, that's an enemy unit. We have some intel on them. They've got 109 troops, 0 tanks, 0 guns, 0 vehicles. Can they accept deliberate attack orders? Yeah. If they're a static unit, like maybe they can attack within their own hex. But I think we have the strength necessary. And these guys are... Oh, there's only 50 of them, but... well, might as well... try to concentrate them in that hex. And let's... Okay, we are gaining more information now about what the enemy has here. So I do have... Wait, what did I just do? Oh, okay. I did something there that I didn't quite want to do. I accidentally clicked on New LCU rather than Select All. Hang on. This is the one I accidentally... Well, it doesn't have any troops yet. But, good to know that feature exists. I may want to create new units at some point, possibly using that kind of mechanism. Can we disband the 0 manpower unit I just created accidentally? Yeah, okay, I guess that is how I will create... is there, there's separate systems for getting more, manpower and replacements coming in and equipment coming in. And this, I guess, is the in-game method for how I would start putting that manpower and equipment into creating a new unit rather than just reinforcing existing units. I think as a general rule, I would want to get existing units up to full strength before I start creating new units. Okay, well, I won't worry about that too much. Okay, but in this hex here, again, we probably do have the combat power necessary to defeat the nationalist forces in that hex if we conduct a deliberate attack, so I'm thinking we should do that. I guess this is, in part, since I haven't finished the manual yet, some experimentation on how the engine works. That is artillery units with some unknown abilities. Naval support. Oh yes, and I should probably give, yeah, come to think of it, I should probably give some orders to my naval units. But for now, you guys, deliberate attack, hopefully just setting them to combat mode deliberate attack without any movement orders will get them to attack nationalist forces in the hex they're currently occupying. And I will learn for sure whether or not that's the way to do that when I actually get to that part of the manual. Again, am making my way through that. Yeah, and again, let's change that to deliberate attack, because I suspect that will be more effective. Oh, what do we have here? So, I have one unit there, which has a massive manpower advantage. You know what? Do a shock attack. There. Okay, we have a significant but not overwhelming manpower advantage there, so that's worth conducting a deliberate attack. Is AV assault value or attack value? The manual mentioned it somewhere. Okay, that's a static unit. Static. I wonder, with enough increase in capability over time, can static units be made to be less static eventually? Oh, and since we have had a turn go by, some of these icons up top will give me some information on what has occurred in industry overview. Yeah. So I guess my side includes Republican Spain, which is the bulk of the territory I control throughout Spain, República del Norte, which is the enclave in the north, and then whatever Soviet support is coming my way, which is... It seems odd that the manpower and industry of the Soviet Union is less than that of Republican Spain. I guess that's because we aren't getting all of the manpower and industry of the entire actual Soviet Union dedicated to us, just whatever portion of it that the Soviet Union is choosing to provide. So this, then, will be the complete overview of the industry and manpower available to me. Okay. what I actually want to see. Okay, so that's industry overview, all task forces, ships. Okay, I have ships in service. I have a battleship, apparently. A couple of light cruisers, a destroyer, a few submarines. I don't know what PG or PBs are. Maybe it'll tell me. Patrol boat. That makes sense. PG? Patrol gunboat. That also makes sense. So most of my ships appear to be patrol boats, or LCI, as I recall, stands for Landing Craft Infantry. Yep. Okay, so that'll be useful when I get around to invading the islands over to the east. This is floating dry dock, so I guess for sustaining ships at sea. AP. What's an AP? Oh, troop transport. TK. Tanker. That tracks. There we go. AK. Cargo ship. AKL. Light cargo ship. LB. Landing barge. Okay. I do have, at least going by individual ships, quite a lot of individual ships. Most of them are transport or sustainment oriented. Most of the combat ones are smaller. That all makes perfect sense. There we got one battleship. Okay. Okay, I think we will worry about some of that later. Status report. Okay. So we've got a lot of air groups that have more craft than pilots, so we need pilots. Now... okay, so I can... Alright. So how exactly do I make use of you guys and manage you guys? Well, I suppose I could start giving them orders. Okay, draw aircraft from pool. Okay, so this appears to be how we get pilots. Aircraft 5 out of 9. Serviceable 3. Group skills. I have 2 pilots. Okay. So we need pilots. Okay, we have 3 serviceable aircraft, so that is probably... Okay. Should I focus on getting enough pilots for all aircraft or just the serviceable one? Oh, you know, that is apparently... Yeah. Let's, at the very least, get enough pilots for all of the serviceable aircraft and enough pilots for all of the aircraft once I'm sure we have enough pilots for all the serviceable ones. Okay, and we do have the option of drawing aircraft from the pool. So that is the kind of aircraft they're running. That's the range in nautical miles and in hexes, altitude, speed, armament. This one doesn't have armament, that's a patrol aircraft. Bomber, so that has machine guns and bombs. Aircraft, let's... Okay, they have enough pilots. Okay, let's get you some pilots. Torpedo bomber. And most of the day-to-day will be administration, managing of the forces. Okay, so I think is that all of my air groups now have pilots. Let's see if I can... What all is involved in drawing aircraft to get up to the max number that the group can have? I'll draw aircraft from pool. Okay, well, looks like you got one. Okay. Speed bomber, go ahead and draw. Okay, and let's get more pilots. Oh, up to the total number. Draw, but let's get more pilots. I'm sure they'll want to be able to rotate out with each other. Hang on. I still have the option to draw aircraft from pool, even though I am nominally at the max. This air group is at full strength. What happens if I click that? Huh. Doesn't appear to have done much of anything. Except, apparently reduce the number that I can draw? Let's get you up to full strength. And full strength in pilots. You're already up at full strength. Let's get another pilot, though. Okay, you're at full strength. Unable to draw aircraft from pool. Okay. Unable to... Oh. So I guess some of these are drawing from the same pool. Makes sense. Okay, let's get you one more pilot. Okay, I think that is all of the air group management I can probably do this turn. Okay, hang on. Is this all of my air groups? Actually, hang on. Land-based aircraft, ship-based aircraft. So I may want to go to these tabs here to manage my air groups. Supply status. We've got some critical supply levels here. Ah, okay. These are Must be referring to these guys, right? Okay, there don't appear to be any troops there to be worried about the lack of supplies. That looks like it's the middle of the ocean. Okay. Ah. Now, upcoming withdrawals. That is land combat units that will be withdrawn from the game. Will be disbanding in however many days. It's quite a lot of them. Submarine status. Okay, I have submarines ready for missions. Okay, that was status report. Combat report. Okay, this will... Okay, that's the combat summary of everything that happened over the last turn. Some of these went favorably to me. Many of them did not. Okay, there's a combat report. Operations report. Okay, so pilots arriving in pool. Locations captured by Nationalist Spain. Hang on. A revolt in Africa? I mean, that must be a good thing because all of the Spanish African colonies are controlled by the nationalists at the moment, so I think that is just the one colony, right, Morocco? No HQ available to give guidance. Okay, so that's aspects of the... Oh, hang on. Did I just do something there? Aspects of the game that I am not yet familiar with. They need HQs to give them guidance, which I guess makes sense. But how do I manage that as a player? Oh, yeah, AV is assault value. Okay, that's a fairly strong unit for this stage of the war. 505 troops, 6 guns, more vehicles than troops. Okay, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yeah, apparently, this game does start out with fairly small units scattered throughout the map, which will eventually be grown into divisions. And I guess the recommendation was to keep automatic replacements off, so that we could manually manage, send replacements to where they're actually most needed, where if their replacements are divvied out automatically, it'll be just spread evenly. So I should figure out then how to manage my replacements. And where do I need them the most, and how many do I have to divvy out? Oh, weather forecast. Oh, okay, that's weather forecast for a specific hex, which in time I will no doubt learn to make better use of. Okay. So okay, you're giving me the hex numbers on these reports, the hex grid numbers, but I've got no indication. Yeah, this is Morocco. I don't have any forces down here. So I'm not terribly concerned about activity there. Okay, so I assume the activity is somewhere in the general region of where the map is jumping to, but I don't know the exact hex, because it gives me the grid coordinates of the hex, but I don't have a grid on the map that I can look at to find the grid coordinates of, the hex that grid coordinate refers to. Do I? No, so the grid coordinates are kind of useless for me as a player in any case. Okay. But basically, what I can figure out from this is the Nationalists have upcoming operations, probably, in various locations. And SOAR. Where is SOAR? That must be Tartus right there. Toulouse is somewhere around here. Okay. I think I'm done jumping around looking at that for the time being. Okay. Of course, I am going to need to figure out how to my ships could use some orders. That's the LCU list. Is there a ship list? Something like a WCU list, a water combat unit list, if there is such a thing, for forces in that hex. There is a port there. Ah, okay, here we go. We got 2 ships there. The patrol boats. Which I suppose I should give them some patrol orders, probably. In any case. So over at Madrid. May now have a better idea, slightly better idea of what I'm facing. Looks like a lot of artillery. Let's have all of you conduct a deliberate attack. All of you who can move. Also, deliberate attack into Madrid. Oh, I do have some AFVs here. What AFVs have I got? Which units have them? Oh, that's probably it. So I have FT-17s. Excellent. 7 of them. Oh, hang on. In total, supposedly, I have 9 AFVs, so another unit somewhere has 2 more. Or maybe that one has... Okay, that one has all 9 of them. So the other 2... What are the other 2? I've got 2 FT-17s armed with 37mm guns and 5 FT-17s with presumably just the Hotchkiss machine gun. There's the FT-17, unlike most tanks that would follow, it doesn't have a cannon and a coaxial machine gun. It has either a cannon or a machine gun. So that just the what's just designated FT-17 here is probably the version with the machine gun, and the FT-17 37mm would be the version with the gun. Yeah, okay, so there's 7 of those. What are the other 2 AFVs that I... armored fighting vehicles that I supposedly have here? Well, I guess I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, now what do we got here? So like my forces there... I may have a combat power advantage there. Let's... deliberate attack. Ah. Oh, I just noticed that corner there went red. Yeah, when I gave him the deliberate attack order, that probably indicates something. Oh, yes, and we have all these aircraft. I should use my aircraft. Right. I also have... Okay, these are mostly aviation support. Do have some units here. We've got the artillery with 13 guns, infantry with 102 men, militia with 125 men, and 3 AFVs. Those being something. That armored car, maybe? Yeah, infantry support tank. We don't have an image of it. Okay, and as these guys are static units, so I can't send them. What did I just do? Oh, yeah, okay, I want to be over here. So, I think we have sufficient overwhelming combat power in Madrid, so I think everyone who isn't... First thing, I think I want all of the artillery... I guess that's everyone. To barrage. Now how do I direct them to fire their guns there? I'm not sure. Now then, for the... Yeah, just show me mobile units. And I don't want to necessarily move the aviation support units. But the infantry, the militia... is that all? Yeah, just the infantry and the militia. What did I just do? I want them to conduct a deliberate attack over this way. All the units in this hex, and let's go back to looking at everyone. Yeah, okay, they're already conducting a deliberate attack. Okay. What are we dealing with here? I think we may have enough of a combat power advantage there to mount a successful attack. I think... Yeah, that's aviation. So I assume the aviation ground units are not, or like they must be in some way involved in supporting air units, and fighting on the ground is not their primary job. This one looks pretty evenly matched to me. But if I can get you some assistance from somewhere, perhaps from down here. Yeah, move up there and assist. I've got this 31 combat power unit there. I could have him move up and assist in dealing with those guys, or I could have them start moving down to maybe start concentrating combat power against this pocket down here, which would probably be the better use of them. What do we got here? Okay. They have... Yeah, go for a deliberate attack when you get down there. Okay, and I guess it is closer. Do we have any estimate on how long that is going to take? This movement. Doesn't seem to be telling me, but all right, that's fine. Okay, I think we have a sufficient advantage there to attack. A lot of these... Let's maybe move this a little bit to the left so I'm less likely to... Yeah, a lot of these troops are static. Alright, show me only the mobile ones. And select all of them. And I am going to send them south to start concentrating. Where exactly to send them? Somewhere... Oh, Is there a limit on their range? Now, if I send them here, they'll have to conduct a contested crossing in order to attack, which I would rather they not do. Oh, hang on. Actually, if strategic move. Can I... Options for a strategic move don't seem to be much better. Okay. Well, let's get them moved down to about there, and we'll figure out where else to move them. Okay. So if I move these guys, that'll be moving all of them. No idea what we're up against there. So conduct a cautious attack. Figure out what we're up against, and if we have a favorable advantage, then we will conduct a more deliberate attack later. What are we up against here? 220 men versus 1,523 and 41 guns versus 220 and 6 guns. You know, we probably have a sufficient combat advantage. A sufficient combat advantage there to conduct an attack. Maybe even a shock attack. Let's do a deliberate attack. Oh, specifies that it's... And you go join them, because why not? Yeah, all of the forces in southern Spain, might as well start concentrating them on... concentrating, getting them close to being concentrated for an attack, a drive to crush this pocket here. What I want is for these guys to already be across the river, so they don't have to cross a river in the course of attacking whatever nationalist forces are there. Okay, forces that are on the coast, I kind of want to keep there. In fact, let's... Oh, air power, right. I can at least start getting a handle on air units and hex. Start getting a handle on using air power. Recon. Training. Okay, so none of those are combat aircraft. Recon, escort, or hang on, is that mission or is that type? Okay, some of these are bombers, some of these are fighters. Okay, Army transport, Army recon, Army level bomber. So we want to have you ground attack. Do I need to specify where you're conducting the ground attack? Targets, commander choice. Yeah, okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Next group. Level bomber. Yeah, ground attack for now. It's recon. Okay, yeah, we'll leave them on training for now. Actually, there we go. Okay, so I click on the airfield that gives me the air units in hex. Okay, so level bombers. Hang on. Yep. Not quite sure how to get that back. Now, I guess I won't worry about that too much for the time being. Submarines. I have submarines ready to accept orders. Maybe I will worry about that later. I have a lot of combat power at Barcelona, apparently. I do want to get the ball rolling on an attack on Formentera. Might as well get started on that as soon as possible. So what ships do I have here? Right, that's the 2 patrol boats. Where do I have transports? Transports and surface combat ships to escort the transports. I suppose there is already a tutorial video going over the tutorial scenario that covers how to do that, so I will worry about starting to organize an assault on Formentera on day 3, and I think for now, maybe this is an adequate place to leave it on day 2. And again, starting to get the gears in motion. Oh, hang on. Okay. Those are static units, so I can't use them. I was thinking maybe use them to probe into whatever some nationalist force is doing over there. I guess, are there any hexes with both Republican and nationalist forces present where I haven't already ordered my troops to try to wipe out the nationalist forces? There is one there. And conduct a deliberate attack against the forces in that hex. Well, I guess we shall end the turn and see how this all pans out and pick it up again tomorrow. What just happened? Oh, hang on. This is... What's going on here? Was this the low-resolution naval engagements? Did I... Can I increase the time scale? Okay, I guess those are both friendly ships. No, hang on. We've got... Are there nationalist forces somewhere? No, it looks like they have 0 ships present, so why are we getting an animation here? And there does not appear to be... any way to break out of this. Huh? Okay. Oh, am I being given the options of whether to engage or not? I'm not seeing any buttons to increase the time scale. This looks like a little mini Rule the Waves battle here, which is kind of neat. Actually, wouldn't mind one bit if the naval combat was modeled as a sort of a mini Rule the Waves battle. But I'm not entirely sure that's what's going on here. Doesn't look like there's actually anything to engage here. I just hit spacebar, and that seems to have done something. Oh, we are still getting this weird thing with summary windows, mini summary windows showing up behind bigger summary windows. I expect it's supposed to be this size, but contain all of these buttons, like this one back here. Okay, it looks like there was some combat action there that maybe I would have seen if I had just sat back and watched it all play out, but the Nationalist fleet had something sunk there. Something. Hang on. Okay, I'm gonna. Ah, there we go. Okay. Naval bombardment. I think we get the idea. Oh. Okay. If there's a way to increase the time scale. Oh. Okay. Plus and minus on the numpad seems to do the trick. So maybe I can watch this play out at a more reasonable time scale. And there will actually be some interesting high-resolution naval combat to watch. Or low resolution, since we're just looking at dots here. Normal sight range 40,000. Meters? Okay. I guess there's nothing much there. Ah, okay. So I'm guessing when I was clicking around settings, one of them must have switched to low resolution. Low resolution air and naval combat summaries. So I'll want to switch that back to higher resolution, as long as that doesn't cause the land combat unit UI to scrunch up again to where I can't read it. Okay, air combat summary. Republican air raid. Okay, so some of my air units that I ordered to do some ground attack inflicted 1 casualty on the enemy, no nationalist aircraft losses, no Republican aircraft losses. Defender 1 casualty. Since this is a Republican air raid, I assume the Defender is a nationalist casualty. But it inflicted 30 to 74 civilian casualties, which is not good. I mean, okay, maybe those are nationalist civilians, but they're still civilians. We don't want to be inflicting civilian casualties. Or hang on, Toledo. Where is Toledo? Not entirely sure where that is exactly. Okay, more naval air combat. Okay, since we're not going to get the detailed animations there, might as well skip it. No losses. No losses.
Armando, avistado buque de guerra.
Ah, okay, and there we have... Oh, apparently quite a lot of nationalist ships showing up there. Okay, so that is a light cruiser. Or no, hang on, it is targeting a light cruiser. Light cruiser Libertad. Oh, hang on, did we... And we're shooting at an AKL. And did we sink one of them? This does seem to have rolled waves like naval combat modeling, which is interesting. Definitely a big step up from whatever sort of calculations games like, Hearts of Iron or Darkest Hour use to calculate naval combat, which I think it just kind of abstracted naval combat completely. So we've got much higher resolution naval combat than other less detailed strategic level war games that I've encountered. The distance between the ships is fluctuating, but generally about 3 kilometers, which light cruisers should be able to fire relatively accurately at that range. Okay. Nationalist Fleet. We sunk a YMS, I forget what that is, AKL. AKL is, from when I was browsing through ships earlier, that was support related in some way, or maybe transport ships. But it sounds like our fleet is doing some good work there. Okay. We're getting just a simplified version here as naval bombardment. Guess we'll skip that. Ground units. No aircraft losses. We did have civilian casualties again. So maybe want to scale back the bombing missions a bit. Toledo again. Doesn't look like we actually did anything of military value. Okay. So, no damage there. Yeah, got 2 light cruisers apparently doing some patrolling. And we have spotted an enemy transport ship, and we are engaging it. No doubt it will soon be sunk. Oh! That looks like a devastating hit there. And I'm guessing it has now been sunk. Excellent. Okay. Bombardments. So that is a battery, I think. Coastal defense is what CD must be referring to. So coastal defense battery. Okay, and we're getting to the ground combat summaries. And as I learned last turn, I should see an icon over the hex in question. Huh. Not seeing it here. Okay, so... Okay, oh, and this is cautious nationalist attack against Corduba. And Corduba, there it is. There's Corduba. Attacker artillery value 0, defender artillery value 0, attacker assault value 2, defender assault value 20. Okay, so they're attacking a bit against the odds there, but they now control 2 of 5 nautical miles in the hex, which... is that more or less than they controlled before? I'm not sure. Okay, nationalist cautious attack against Oviedo. Ah, there it is. Right there. They apparently didn't take any casualties. I took 12 casualties. It's urban terrain. Okay, and this one in however that's pronounced. They took 6 casualties. Nationalist cautious attack. Ah, there it is, near Madrid, in Alcorcon, Cuatro Vientos. They took 1 casualty. I took 17 casualties, so that didn't go great for me. They had an assault value of 3, where I had an assault value of 12. So one would have expected them to take the heavier casualties, but oh well, war is probabilistic, so I guess that these sorts of things, especially with smaller forces, do happen. This time, they took 24 casualties to my 10, so that went well for me. Okay, again, I guess we're covering all of their attacks first. Where did this battle take place? Ah, there it is. Caceres. As I play this game, I'm going to start gaining a much better understanding of where all these towns and cities are in Spain. They inflicted 23 casualties on me. Okay, so that apparently didn't suffer any casualties themselves, so that's not great. Another cautious attack at Granada. There's Granada right there. And historically, the war took a bit under 3 years, so almost 1,000 days, so that's 1,000 turns I'll have to memorize some of these city names, and their locations. Granada, a big one, a famous city. I knew it was in southern Spain somewhere, but now have a better idea now. For the moment, have a precise idea, and I'm sure I'll forget the precise location by tomorrow. But they took 4 casualties and inflicted 49, so that didn't go great for me. Oh, artillery value of 104, assault value of 6. Whereas I had an assault value of 23 and an artillery value of 6. So if we combine that value, that's 110 to 29. So perhaps no wonder I took heavier casualties there. 10 times as many casualties. Okay, I had a much higher assault value in that battle at Malaga. And the result was they took 26 casualties, I didn't take any. And next battle... Where is this battle taking place? Ah! Palos. No casualties on either side. Where is this? This is... I guess... Ah, they took an undefended base. And they... conducted an attack at Huelva. All right. Here they took 7 casualties. I'm sure we'll be getting to my attacks eventually, because I did order some. Where is this? Ah, okay, this is over here. Surely I thought to order the troops in that hex over there. Okay, cautious attack. Ah, okay. Over here. Neither side appears to have taken any casualties. They control 3 of 5 nautical miles. Okay. Ah, okay, and that is fort value, so no casualties, but attacker odds 0 of 1. Republican deliberate attack. Okay, so we're getting to some of the attacks I ordered over the course of the turn. This is in Madrid. I took 6 casualties, and they took 83 casualties, so more than 10 to 1. So the deliberate attack evidently paid off, but then again, we had a very high relative assault value and very high artillery value. Okay, we've had elements of a number of our units have broken through. Fort levels are down to 0, so that has gone very well for us. We'll want to continue that fighting next turn, I think. Where is this? This is over here. Fort level 5, and that's a nationalist cautious attack. Nationalist cautious attack against a fort. Each turn is taking me well upwards of an hour, so I think I will probably... I think what I had thought I would do was try to do week-by-week videos. If each turn takes a whole hour for me to do 1 day's worth of fighting, then that means probably, rather than stitching each turn together into a week-by-week video, I will instead probably want to release day-by-day videos, which means a video every single day, which is going to drown out the combat mission videos. But, well, I was thinking of when I hit 500 subscribers, I will have the option of turning the channel into of having channel memberships. So having some early monetization before I can get any ad revenue. But I was trying to think, well, what on earth could what videos could I do that I could lock behind a membership? I didn't want to do that to any of my combat mission videos, because I want to keep doing 3 of those a week. But if I'm doing day-by-day videos, a video every single day is, I think, probably suboptimal for general release. But day-by-day videos that are not released to the general channel might be something that people will be willing to become channel members for. I guess leave comments on whether or not that's something you'd be willing to do. But ultimately, I'm trying to figure out on whether or not it's worth continuing to do this series at all. If it's worth doing them maybe as channel member videos. Obviously, of course, at time of recording, I have not yet released the video covering the fighting on July 17th. It's, July 18th right now, both in-game and at time of recording. So probably what I'll do, day by day, if I'm recording on the day that covers the fighting I'm doing, then I guess it'll be showing the fighting that occurred the day before, or I could start recording the day before and release on the day that is actually covered. If I want to do day by day, maybe that'll make more sense. Then again, most people will encounter the video after it's released anyway, so maybe that won't even matter. Anyhow, let's continue seeing the combat summaries. Attackers just took 17 casualties. That was a nationalist attack, so that's good. At Covadonga, if I'm pronouncing that right. And this nationalist attack on a fort level 5, defender assault value 3. Neither side has taken any casualties yet. Guadalajara. I know how to pronounce that because I have heard it multiple times throughout my life. Okay, and that's northeast of Madrid. I never actually had a clear picture in my mind of where Guadalajara was. Now I do. Okay, this is Toledo. I've heard Toledo before. Southwest of Madrid. Okay. I'm gonna have a very good understanding of Spanish geography by the time this war is over. Yep, we're back at Granada. This is a Republican deliberate attack, one of the attacks I ordered. Despite being a deliberate, planned attack, oof. So I judged that I had a huge advantage because they have an assault value of 4. I had an assault value of 72. I had an artillery value of 1. They had an artillery value of 179. Yikes, I took 134 casualties. They took 19. 19 squads disabled, 4 destroyed. Those were heavy losses. Okay, ouch. Maybe I don't want to repeat that attack tomorrow, or if I can concentrate more forces in Granada before I repeat the attack, or if I can adjust how I'm conducting the attack. Maybe I want, maybe, see, as a city, maybe ordering my artillery to use direct fire is what I want to do. We'll see. Okay, attacker suffered 4 casualties. That's bad because I'm the attacker. Here we are. Republican deliberate attack, so I'm the attacker here. So the Nationalists have suffered 29 casualties. Nope. Republicans have suffered 29 casualties. Nationalists have suffered 61 casualties. So that's good. They lost 9 guns. That's good. Breaking through. Fort level is down to 0. I've attacked over here, just just west of Madrid. Which one of these hexes is Madrid? But Alcorcón Cuatro Vientos. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Attackers, I have suffered 71 casualties. The enemy has suffered 26. Okay, so that didn't go great, but also, okay, yeah, we took 3-1 losses. That's pretty lopsided, but it's not 10-1 lopsided like we've seen in some of these. So, that could have gone worse. Republican deliberate attack. This one went better. That's 3-1 losses in my favor. So yeah, the outcomes of these battles can vary quite dramatically. In fact, these are combat mission scale casualties that we're seeing in most of these casualty lists here, because, well, these are combat mission scale battles, because we've got very small forces involved in most of these battles, despite these being, I think a nautical mile, I think, is 1.85 kilometers, so 5 nautical miles, 9.25 kilometers. So these are battles taking places on, if you think of, each hex is 5 nautical miles wide, so you think of a combat mission map that is 9.25 kilometers by 9.25 kilometers. That is considerably larger than any map CM2 can handle. We have yet to learn what CM3 can handle, of course. And yet, the size of the forces involved in these battles is on the large end of a typical combat mission scenario. So yeah, the forces involved in the Spanish Civil War so far, on the second day of the Spanish Civil War here, are fairly small. I am given to understand they will get bigger. Potentially much bigger. And of course, in the World War II games that I assume will follow this one, I don't know, but a lot of the mechanics that have been put in place by this game, and they've been fairly clear that more games will follow, seem designed to handle World War II. World War II, of course, the forces are going to get much, much bigger. If they get to the Eastern Front, they'll get much, much, much bigger. So, we're starting off on the small scale, and I appreciate that, because the engine has a learning curve it's better to handle that learning curve in the Spanish Civil War than on the Eastern Front of World War II. Okay. Yeah, okay, so thinking about how am I going to release these videos, since I haven't even released the first one yet, covering the first day of the fighting on July 17th yet, I'll probably do one big multi-hour long video that'll release on Monday, and then do daily releases from there. So first half week will be the first video. Then do daily releases from there. Actually, I'll probably want to play the day before and release the day of. So what is Monday? Is July 20th. So I'll go ahead, once I'm done recording for July 18th, maybe I'll go straight into July 19th for Sunday's fighting. And Sunday I'll play July 20th and release a big multi-hour video covering the 17th, 18th, and 19th, the first half week of the war. 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. I'll release that Monday. Then do daily releases, which will drown out the combat mission videos, which will also continue releasing until I hit 500 subscribers. And then I'll lock the, once I hit 500 subscribers, I'm allowed to do channel memberships, I will do the first wave of monetization will be to lock the Spanish Civil War videos behind a membership, which will at least mean they won't be drowning out the combat mission videos, and will also mean maybe I can start to make some money. And you will still be able to see these after getting the trial run for free by becoming a channel member once I'm allowed to have channel members, which will happen at, 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours is where that happens. Okay, back to combat summary reports. Republican deliberate attack, so that's me on Huelva. I took 18 casualties, they took 58. That went well. Republican deliberate attack on Guadalajara. And Guadalajara is over here. 0 casualties. Apparently for either side. Oh, and I control 5 of 5 nautical miles in the hex hand. So what all happened? So did the enemy retreat and just not put up any resistance, or was there effectively 0 troops to begin with? What happened? Another deliberate attack in Dijon. What's the correct pronunciation there? I took 94 casualties, they took 57. Okay. Unfavorable loss ratio, but at least it's less than 2 to 1. I can live with that. How did this actually go? I guess we reduced the fort level that the Nationalists have. Ah, okay. I was attacking against an unfavorable assault value, so that's worth bearing in mind. I didn't actually have as much of an advantage as I apparently thought I did there. But, okay, I'll try to concentrate more troops there. And this is Toledo. Republican deliberate attack, so that's me. I took... Ouch. Ah, I was attacking against an unfavorable assault value, so no wonder I took unfavorable casualties in the realm of... hang on, what is that? 78 against 6, that's like 13 to 1, isn't it? Exactly 13 to 1. What do you know? So, this is a pretty bad loss ratio. Let's not do that again. Okay, I took another... Oh, I conducted a shock attack there. And took apparently 0 casualties. Oh, location. Ah, okay, this is... Luadio? I don't know how to pronounce that. Laudio? I apparently suffered 0 casualties, which is great. The defender suffered 50 casualties. Fantastic. An infinity to 0, or 50 to 0 loss ratio. Very favorable. Divide by 0. I like that. Okay, this one went less well. Ah, again, it looks like I was attacking against an unfavorable assault value. Where's... Ah, okay, this is Oviedo. I took 122 casualties. They lost 51 casualties. Well, at least it was less than 3 to 1 loss ratio. Yeah, it could have been worse. It's bad, but it could have been worse. Oh, we took an undefended hex. Where did we take that? Trubia. Now that looks like it's in our territory anyway, so... Okay. Ah, alright. We've conducted another deliberate attack here. Very favorable assault value there. We lost 10 casualties and inflicted 206. 20 to 1. A 20 to 1 loss ratio. How about that? Yeah, there's a lot of variation in the casualty rates. I guess, depending on very minute details on the ground that we aren't seeing at this level, but the game is presumably taking into account, obviously it's not physically simulating them, but, there's a realistic degree of variance, which has presumably been taken into account in some of the die rolls, or at least some of the relative strength values we're seeing here. Oh. How did we get such an... Okay, this is adjusted assault value. I don't know what the adjustments are based on. Okay. Malaga. I think I conducted this attack because presumably I thought I had a relative advantage there. But I took 61 casualties, and inflicted 21. So it's a 3-to-1 loss ratio. Ouch. Yeah, that hurt. That didn't go great for me. Cautious attack. We only took 10 casualties there. Okay. Advantage of a cautious attack. If it turns out the odds are stacked against you, at least you don't lose too many men in the process. Shock attack, which presumably, yes, I undertook because I had a massive advantage in combat power. And was evidently right. Okay. I took 90 casualties, inflicted 181. Oh, location. Here we go. Is that an R and an N, or an M with a very large left loop? That's either Hernani or Hemeni. The font maybe could be changed to something a little bit clearer. Okay. And we conduct another deliberate attack here. So my guess that giving forces deliberate attack orders with no move orders would get them to attack enemy units in the same hex. Okay. And Defender took more than 2-to-1 loss ratio, favorable to me. So they took 91 casualties, I took 40. Excellent. And there, where are we? Sumaraga, yeah. Okay. Sumaraga, I assume is what that is. I took 6 casualties, inflicted 141. I can live with that. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with those results. Where are we? Okay. And this is... We took 20 casualties, inflicted 119. 6-to-1 loss ratio. Sounds good to me. Okay. They lost 9 squads. I lost 2. No, doesn't look like the fighting is over there yet. Okay, and... okay. July 19th. Following the military uprising, Casares resigned as head of the government. Okay. Yes, I will read this silently and... Oh, man. Oh, okay. Don't click and drag, apparently, on this interface. Okay. Government entrusted him with negotiating to end the conflict. His negotiations were fruitless, and he resigned the same day. Then the president of Azana entrusted Jose Giral with forming a new government in the morning. Madrid, Giral, one of those, authorized the distribution of weapons to the people. The uprising in the capital failed, and the city remained loyal to the Republic. The first militias are organized in all the Republican area. In Malaga, after fierce fighting, the rebels retreated to the barracks. The city remained Republican. Okay. Right. So I think I will do the fighting for the fighting and decisions for the 19th today, but maybe not right now. I need food and a mental break. And then I'll... How long have I been recording? Maybe what I should do is I should obviously, stop this recording for now. Do I want to try to stitch together a multi-hour long video to release on Monday? Or maybe I should start uploading the video I did yesterday right now. And maybe have a day, and then, start uploading this video right now as well. Have a day where I release 2 videos, and then tomorrow's video, the video that'll actually be set on July 19th. Maybe I'll have that upload tomorrow. A half week of covering a half week of the war really would be a gigantic video to release all at once. Okay, well, I'll figure this out off screen. I do need to click out of the video, out of the game, for OBS Studio to recognize my keyboard shortcuts to pause and stop the video.